Listen, when it comes to surviving BG wealth sharing, don't forget skill sets, assets, and access at the end of the day. I give updates on BG wealth sharing, but I'm not losing sight of what's important to us all. This one I want to talk about assets. And today, literally today, one of the biggest financial marketplaces in the world, known as the CME Group, just unlocked the floodgates, allowing Wall Street, banks, etc., to trade XRP. Yes, XRP 24/7. That includes holidays and weekends, which is typically not the case. That says a lot about XRP from an infrastructure standpoint, from a trust standpoint, from something that they're willing to put in their records, their database, their balance sheet, and just even be allowed to be discussed at that level. That says a lot about it. But you having ownership of it positions you for what it can become by you having ownership of that asset. So you really want to strongly consider XRP, if not already, or consider adding more to your holdings if you haven't been doing so already, so you can be in position from an asset standpoint. You got to understand that banks don't like to wait. And they've been waiting all this time because crypto was still being, developed into what it is. And now a lot of the things have been proven. The court cases have been won by XRP, and now they are able to do what they once couldn't do. So how do you think that's going to change the future of the asset known as XRP? Don't get caught up on the price. Pay attention to what's happening and what green lights are being, revealed based on their actions. Not what they're saying, not just off the price, not just specifically off the headlines, but based on their actions and the money that's being dumped into it and recorded. That's very important to note. So why did Wall Street change the rules? See, they understand that big money and real money never sleeps. And they were really putting themselves in a vulnerable space by having to wait till Monday to trade and circulate money. So it put them at a really vulnerable space by having to wait. But now they have the ability to stay on the front end of things on a 24/7 basis, being able to move and do things with the money from a crypto standpoint, specifically with XRP as of recent. So you have to pay attention to what the big boys are doing, not just to hear say what people are saying, the hype, any of that. You have to pay attention to what shifts are happening, because when you notice the shifts that are happening, it's not even a prediction. It's not even coming up and saying, you made this genius move. You're already seeing what's happening and you're just pouncing on it before mainstream catches hold of it. So it is a matter of being ahead and thinking several moves ahead, being very strategic, playing chess, not checkers, so you can be in position. So I can't, stress the importance of paying attention to that. And I'm specifically saying XRP just because I don't want to have you, going down the rabbit hole of so many different things. However, there are a lot of other different, I say a lot, but there are some other, good projects as well. But XRP is something that I really feel, has strong potential and is being proven by different countries. This is just, what I'm talking about now is just Wall Street, the US. This is a global thing that is taking place as well with XRP that cannot be ignored any longer. So banks are understanding they cannot be waiting on Monday. They need something that they can have operating, running, trading, making money, and in position to do what they need to do on a grand scale. And XRP just allowed them to do that. We're not even worried about BG wealth sharing, what the professor is saying, what these platforms are doing. We're paying attention to it from a standpoint of, are we going to be able to withdraw? But we're not waiting on it. And you got to understand that with this type of move, it's proof that XRP is going to be a strong portion of the infrastructure, the plumbing, the new money system that's being created right in front of our eyes. It's proof that that is happening. So you just have to understand that this is happening, and big money, when they're making big moves, they want to do it efficiently. They want to do it in a way that has speed associated with it and doesn't cost them a whole lot of money. And XRP is the one, the chosen one, the one that is government backed, the one that has gone through the lawsuits and won, that does have the support, that does allow them to include it on, or different companies and big entities to include it now in their records. XRP has withstood the test of time. So you just have to connect those dots and make a decision that's best for you. Of course, this is not financial advice. This is for educational, experimentational, entertainment purposes only, all of those things. But I just want you to connect the dots and see what's going on. And you can do your own research and see what changes are happening with XRP on a day-to-day basis, so you can determine if enough things are happening that align with what you feel makes sense for you to hold on to that asset. You can buy it on, any crypto exchange, and then you can move it over into your own hot wallet, cold wallet, if you're familiar with that. Basically, you putting it somewhere to where you own the keys to it. The keys is just a secret password that they give you access to upon setting up these wallets. So you own the keys to it. You want to move the money over there. That's a whole nother conversation, a whole nother video. But for those who know, they know. However, you can still have it on the platform just so you can start chipping away with owning a piece of where money is going. The transfer of wealth is happening. It's just a matter of where you're going to be when that money is transferred. Are you going to be in position to catch some of the transfer of wealth? Because it is taking place in front of our eyes, and a lot of things are distractions that are happening in the world, things that they want you focused on. Listen, you got to be focused on things that can position you from a financial standpoint. And even though money in everything is right up there with oxygen, because it's something that everybody needs, which is why people are trying and willing and open to try different things that even seem to be, too good to be true, because they understand the energy associated with money in the world. There's just no escaping that, as far as I know. Now, in conclusion, do your own research, do your own due diligence to determine if this is a great investment for you. If you've already been a part of XRP and invested in it, you can drop that in the comments as well. Many people have, and a lot of times people say, well, the price isn't moving or it's steady going down, and they're just looking at that. But suppression does happen in the market all across the board. There are ways that they can suppress price points for different reasons. I'll just say that. But do your own homework and you determine. And definitely, if you haven't already subscribed, hit that bell notification, because we got some good things coming down the pipeline. This was about assets, but the other things that are coming down the pipeline are centered around access and skill sets simultaneously. Mr. Smith, signing out. Salute.